Okay, so we begin with Module 2, the Code of Professional Ethics for Radiologic Technologies and X-ray Technologies and Ethics in Clinical Setting. Okay? Okay, syempre, when we say clinical setting, syempre may kinalaman to sa practice of radiologic technology in the hospital. Okay? Okay. So objectives, at the end of the presentation, students would be able to uh, discuss the nature of the radiologic technology professional ethics. Okay? Then list and discuss the the 4 articles of the revised uh, Code of Professional Ethics for Radiologic Technologies and X-ray Technologies. Okay? Discuss and explain patients' Bill of Rights and patients' responsibilities in connection with uh, the uh, Code of Ethics for Radiologic Technologies. Okay? So, the nature of ethics, of professional ethics for radiologic technology, ito ay nagbra-branch out o sumasanga sa medical ethics. Okay? Dahil ang RadTech ay part ng healthcare team. Okay, we are part of the healthcare team and therefore we have the same goals. Ano yung ating goals? It is to serve our patients. Okay, yun nga lang, meron tayong specific goals. Yung ating general goal, of course, is to to serve our patients for to have their well-being. Okay? But yung ating specific goals is to provide our patients with good quality radiographic images. Okay? So, ayun. As radiologic technologies are not expected only to handle or to be expert in handling machines, medical machines, but also must have a high standard of morality, honesty, and integrity because we are also have interactions with people. Okay, when we say people, not only patients, but also with our colleagues. Colleagues, what we mean by colleagues is fellow RadTechs and also fellow professionals from the different fields, such as nursing, pharmacy, then medical technology, and so on. Siyempre, ang pinakamalapit na interaction natin sa healthcare professionals ay with the radiologist. Okay? So, kailangan meron tayong pina-follow na conduct, rule of conduct sa pakikitungo sa bawat professional sa ospital. Okay. So another thing is that membership to the radiologic technology profession is a privilege. Okay? So we must understand that being a licensed radiologic technologist is a privilege granted by the state. Okay? Ito ay pribilehiyo na binigay ng Estado ng Republika ng Pilipinas, okay, sa atin na bilang sa mga pumasa sa board exam. Okay, at dahil sa ito ay pribilehiyo na binigay ng Estado, Estado lang din ang may karapatan na bawiin ang privilege na ito sa pamamagitan ng revocal of license, okay? Or suspension of license. At dahil doon, dahil nga ito ay isang privilege, so dapat ang lahat ng RadTech ay magkakaroon ng pamantayan. Okay? Pamantayan ng magandang character or yun nga, yung ating code of ethics. Okay? So the following are the rules which govern the ethical behavior of radiologic technologies in the Philippines. Kaya in the Philippines. First is the Bill of Rights in the 1987 Philippine Constitution, that is Article 3, Bill of Rights. Okay? Then the second is the Civil Code of the Philippines. Okay? Ano ba yung Civil Code? Ito ang naglalaman ng lahat ng batas na may kinalaman sa pakikipag-ugnayan ng isang pribadong mamamayan sa kapwa niya pribadong mamamayan. Ibig sabihin, kapag nagkaroon ng kasuhan sa korte, it is Citizen A versus Citizen B. Yan, civil case. Okay? Pag civil case, walang kulong. Okay? Ano lang ang meron sa civil case? Damages. When we say damages, ito ay multa, pera. Okay? And then, number 3, Republic Act, number 7431, also known as the Radiologic Technology Act of 1992. So, ang ating main governing law ay ang Republic Act 7431. At by virtue of Republic Act 7431, okay, na promulgate yung professional Code of Professional Ethics for Radiologic Technology and X-ray technologies. Okay, so number 4, okay, so syempre, it is very understandable that one of the governing laws for ethical behavior ng mga RadTech at X-ray tech, of course, is the Code of Ethics. And lastly, number 5 is Supreme Court decisions, or what we call jurisprudence. Okay? They are decisions or of cases filed in the Supreme Court that addresses certain things. Okay, certain legality. Yung mga sinasampa sa Supreme Court ay question of laws. Okay? They are not prosecutorial, but they are question of laws. When we say question of laws, ibig sabihin, ang tinatanong sa Korte Suprema, ito ba ay constitutional or unconstitutional? Ito ba ay valid or invalid? So yun yung mga kaso na idinudulog sa Supreme Court. Okay? So, the Code of Ethics for Radiologic Technologies and X-ray technologies, as I said, was promulgated after the Republic Act 7431 was signed into law. Okay? So, even after na maging effective yung 7431. Okay. So, this Code of Professional Ethics, okay, nagkaroon ito dahil ang pagiging member ng isang profession ay may mga specific obligations na dapat gampanan. sa loob ng propesyon na kanyang pinanumpaan. Okay? Kaya nga, similar to medical ethics, okay, rad text and X-ray text follows a high standard of morality and professional obligations. Okay, so this code of professional ethics adheres to the moral and ethical standards to which every radiologic technology and X-ray technologies must follow. Okay. So meaning, anumang paglabag sa code of ethics, sa professional code of ethics for radiologic technologies and X-ray technologies ay pwedeng maging rason ng revocal of PRC license. Not only PRC license, but even the board certificate. So magkaiba yung PRC ID, iba yung may license number, at yung board certificate. Yung board certificate, it is a certificate na para diploma na ini-issue sa lahat ng pumasa. Ini-state doon na itong tao ito ay pumasa ng ganito, ganito, ganito. Siya ay member ng Radiologic Technology profession, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So the Code of Ethics identifies what colleagues should expect of each other within a profession and the public should expect from the professional of a specific profession. So kung radde ka, so doon nakasaad sa inyong Code of Ethics kung ano yung i-expect sa'yo ng kapwa mo radtech, ng kapwa mo professional from other field, at ng public. Okay? So the first or the Code of Professional Ethics for Radiologic Technologies and X-ray Technologies was promulgated by the Philippine Regulatory Commission or Philippine Regulations Commission Board of RadTech in 1993 by virtue of Section 9 of RA 7431. Okay. Kasi po nakasaad po sa ating batas sa RadTech Law Section 9 na kailangan bumuo ng Code of Ethics ang Board of RadTech. Binibigyan ng kapangyarihan ng batas na bumuo ng Code of Ethics ang Board of RadTech. At dahil doon nga, noong 1993, okay, inilabas yung Code of Professional Ethics for RadTech and X-ray techs. However, it was revised and the revised version was promulgated in June 13, 2014. So na-approve siya noong June 13, 2014, okay? By virtue of the Board Resolution number 2 series of 2014. At na-publish siya sa Official Gazette noong September 15, same year, and became effective 15 days after the publication in the Official Gazette. Okay. So, dahil binigay ko sa inyo yan as an assignment, okay, may I ask sino ang chairman ng Board of RadTech noong panahon na pinirmahan ang revised Code of Ethics? Okay, si Honorable Wilhelmina Magnayon Gana. Okay? So ngayon po, ang ating Board of RadTech ay apat. Noong time na yon ay 5. Okay? How about nung yung original Code of Ethics, sino ang chairperson? Dumaan ba kayo sa history ng Philippine RadTech? Sa intro to RadTech? Kilala nyo ba kung sino yung kung anong pangalan ng RadTech na ang kanyang license number ay 0001? Kilala nyo ba siya? Ayan, nakalimutan ko yung pangalan niya bigla. Eh, siya kasi ay ilang beses ko lang na-meet. Naging bisita siya sa school natin several times. Ayun, nakalimutan ko talaga. Si number 1. Siya ay sumakabilang buhay na. Unfortunately. Ayun, si Dr. Gabon. Dr. Gabon. Dr. Gabon was the first chairman of the Board of RadTech. And it was during his time as uh, uh, Board of RadTech chairman na promulgate yung uh, first Code of Ethics. Okay? Nakalimutan ko lang yung first name ni Dr. Gabon. Okay, so next. So the Code of Ethics this is the revised. The revised Code of Professional Ethics for RadTech and X-Ray Tech. Okay? Meron siyang 3 articles. Simply, to summarize the whole document, sinasummarize lang nitong 4 articles na to. Okay? So, responsibility to the public, responsibility to patients, responsibility to colleagues, allied health professionals, and health institutions. And the last article is responsibility to self. Yan yung nilalaman ng revised Code of Professional Ethics or Code of Professional Ethics for Radiologic Technologies and X-ray Technology Series of 2014. Okay? May kopya ba kayo niyan? Dinownload nyo ba? Okay, so kung dinownload nyo, sige, isa-isahin natin sila. Ayan. So section 1, sinasabi lang dyan sa section 1 ng article 1 na kailangan i-recognize ng mga RadTech at X-ray Tech yung sovereignty ng Philippine government. Okay? Kailangan din na sumunod ang lahat ng RadTech at X-ray Tech sa batas, particularly sa konstitusyon, okay? Siyempre, sa ating RadTech law. Okay? Sinabay pa dito yung PRC Modernization Act and other pertinent laws. Okay, implementing rules and regulations na may kinalaman sa practice ng radiologic technology. When we say pertinent laws, ito ay iba't ibang uri ng batas. Pwedeng ito ay Republic Act, pwedeng ito ay Department Memorandum, or pwede ito letter of instructions, or administrative order, or executive order. Okay? Then section 2, okay? They shall promote public interest and welfare at all times. Okay, so yan. Kasi nga nakapokus tayo sa Article 1, responsibility to the public. They shall observe the highest standards of competence and ethics in the practice of their profession. So as you can see, hindi lang kinakailangan na tayo ay very competent. So kailangan din we practice ethical principles or we follow ethical principles in the practice of our profession. They shall be involved in civic affairs by participating in the activities relevant to relevant organizations to enhance their well-being and that of the community. And they shall commit to serve their fellow men with justice, good faith, and something. Putol. Ayon. So, kaya nga ang RADTEC, ah, meron tayong organization and that is the Philippine Association of Radiologic Technologists. At meron tayong chapter dito sa Quezon, okay, which is active naman yung ating Quezon chapter. So, merong ginagawa ang part Quezon chapter ng mga outreach program yearly or minsan twice a year, okay, na nagbe-benefit yung community. Example, noong 2018, 2018 nagkaroon ng free ultrasound. Okay? We cater about 300 patients. Ginawa ito sa cathedral do sa hall doon. May 300 patients yung naka-benefit ng free ultrasound. Obstetric ultrasound and general ultrasound. Okay? Then, last December nagkaroon ng gift giving sa mga may hirap na community sa Lucena, etc. So, maraming ginagawa ang Part Quezon na outreach program. Okay? Because we have responsibility to the public. Then responsibility to patients. Okay. So, naka-specify dito yung mga dapat nating gawin or dapat nating igalang when it comes to interaction with patients. So, di ba, number 1, we should provide patient care in accordance to the accepted accepted professional and ethical standards. So that means walang discrimination when it comes to patient. Kaya nga, if you are gonna ask me, hindi ko ine-encourage na tawagin ang mga pasyente as nanay, tatay, kuya, ate, lolo, lola. Okay? They must be given due respect. Okay? Kaya sa lahat ng pasyente, either ma'am or sir. Kung hindi mo alam ang kanyang gender o naguguluhan ka sa gender ng iyong pasyente, simple lang ang kasagutan, tanungin po. Ano po ang gusto mong itawag ko sa inyo? So, ganun lang kasimple. Hindi yung manghuhula ka ng gender ng iyong pasyente. Yung kasi may mga experiences ako niya na sa trabaho ko dati, ang pangalan niya is lalaki, pero nung tinawag mo, lumapit sa'yo, mahaba ang hair, malaki ang boobs, nakadamit pang babae. Pero ang pangalan niya, Dennis. Diba? So, doon pa lang, makikita mo na kung anong dapat mong itawag sa kanya. Alam nga naman tawagin mong sir, kita mo na sa harap mo. Mahabang buhok, nakapalda, may boobs. So, given na yun na siya ay transgender. Okay? So, syempre, to give due respect, gamitin mo yung pronoun or the gender that the patient is identifying with. Okay? Kung siya ay transgender woman, so she, okay, or her, or miss. Okay? Kung siya naman ay transgender man, so Mr. or he or his ang kanyang pronouns. Okay, next. Ayun. They shall respect the dignity, privacy, and right to self-determination. So very important yung ma-maintain yung dignity ng pasyente. Kasi during the time that a person is sick, usually ay nararamdaman nila that their dignity is diminished, even though that dignity cannot be diminished. Hindi naman nababawasan talaga ang dignity, pero ayun nga, yun ay perception ng tao. And of course, privacy, kailangan ma-maintain yung privacy ng pasyente. Okay. So hindi ko lang, sana maabutan nyo yung during pag nag-intern kayo ay face to face na. At that times, sana hindi kayo maka-encounter ng mga radtech na lumalabag sa privacy ng pasyente. May mga radtech kasi na manyakis kaya sinisilipan ang mga pasyente. Okay? Huwag kayo magalala, puro lalaki yung mga radtech na kilala kong manyak. May mga technique sila, kitang-kita ng mga, at hindi sila nahihiyang ipakita sa mga intern yung ginagawa nila. Huwag tutularan. Hindi maganda. Okay? Next. Okay. So yun nga, without discrimination. Yan. Kailangan pantay-pantay ang turing sa lahat ng pasyente. Okay? Kahit na ang pasyente mo ay Middle Eastern, paghubad ng damit ay alam mo na. Amoy sibuyas. So, hindi ka pwede magtakip ng ilong habang nagpe-perform ng procedure. So, you have to endure. Isipin mo na lang, nagsashawarma ka. Diba? Or, ang ulam mo, kebab. Yun. Okay? Then, possess a degree of technical knowledge, skills. Okay, so technical knowledge and skills. Yun. Ito naman ay prepare kayo or na-prepare na kayo sa school sa pagkakaroon ng sufficient technical knowledge and skills. Okay? Then they shall advocate the best interest and safety of patients as well as of the entire healthcare team by ensuring that radiation exposure is kept at a minimal. Okay, so syempre, pasok pa din dyan yung kailangan nating observe yung radiation protection. Okay? Ang purpose ng radiation protection ay para protektahan, number one, tayo as radiation worker against unnecessary exposure. Number two, yung patient, protektahan din sa unnecessary exposure. At the same time, yung public. Okay? So, laging, tatlo ang dapat i-considera when it comes to radiation protection. Okay. So, next is, we should always uphold the principle of informed consent. Okay. So informed consent is a very special principle that we will be discussing in the following lesson. Okay. So hindi lang to yung consent na pumapayag ka po ba na magpa-x-ray, yes or no? Hindi yan ganyan. Pag sinabing informed consent, lahat ng pros and cons, benefits and risks, sinasabi sa pasyente. Okay? Bago pumirma ang pasyente sa isang document. Okay? Then, kailangan din magkaroon ng confidentiality. Okay? Confidentiality in all the information that a RadTech will encounter sa kanyang practice. Okay? Hindi mo pwedeng ikwento sa iyong nanay na naging pasyente ko si Senador Miriam, meron siyang stage 4 cancer. Pasyente namin siya sa MRI kanina. Okay. wala tayong karapatan na mag-disclose ng any medical information about any patient. Okay? Ang may karapatan lang nun ay ang pasyente mismo. Kaya nga, kung in-announce ni Miriam na siya ay mayroong stage 4 cancer, then you can confirm na meron nga siyang stage 4 cancer. Pero yung pangungunahan mo yung pasyente at i-disclose mo siya kahit na hindi publicly, dinisclose mo sa nanay mo, yung nanay mo number 1 na CCTV ng barangay nyo, di ba? Kalat na agad. So, parang dinisclose mo na rin sa public. Okay? And normally, yung mga pasyente ng mga VIP, very particular sila when it comes to confidentiality. Okay? Usually, ayaw nila na may intern sa examination room kapag mag-undergo sila ng procedure. Kung sino lang talaga yung involved, primary involved, yun lang yung ina-allow na mag-stay sa examination. Okay. And they shall provide services for which they are qualified by virtue of their education and training. So let's say venipuncture, wala ka naman training ng venipuncture, so hindi ka pwedeng ma-perform ng venipuncture. At the same time, kung wala ka naman training ng CT scan, so you should not handle CT scan machine unless you are given training. So usually naman, kapag ang rad tech nililipat sa another section, binibigyan naman yan ng training time or training period. So let's say from X-ray ka, lipat ka sa MRI, may training period yan usually na 2 to 3 months. Okay? Tapos kung pumasa ka sa assessment, malilipat ka na ng section. If not, balik X-ray ka. Okay? Then, Article 3, responsibility to colleagues, allied health professionals, and to the health institution. So basically, kailangan pangalagaan lahat ng machines, lahat ng paraphernalias, and other equipments na ginagamit natin sa hospital or sa ating healthcare institution. Ito ay responsibility natin. Okay? Hindi pwede yung pagkagamit, iwanan na lang dyan basta. Okay? Kung ayaw mo maging haligi ng ospital, lagi mong pangangalagaan ang mga makina na ginagamit. Then, show respect and support to your colleagues. So, dapat iwasan na natin yung crab mentality, yung pagiging mainggitin. Okay? So, lahat naman tayo ay mabibigyan ng opportunity in due time. Okay? So, kailangan din magkaroon tayo ng sound judgment. Okay? Yung ating decision making, kailangan siya ay hindi biased. Okay? Kailangan siya ay sumusunod pa rin sa mga ethical standards. Okay? Then, sabi dito section 4, they shall assist the radiologist and referring physician in the administration of radiologic procedure for diagnosis. Okay. So, assist. So, meron kasing mga times na yung radiologist mismo ang gagawa ng procedure. At kailangan tayo ay mag-assist. Or let's say, radiologist plus the uh, ang tawag doon, referring physician or attending physician. Okay? Magpe-perform ng isang invasive procedure, so you have to assist them. Let's say, kailangan mo mag-operate ng C-arm or ng ultrasound. Example sa ultrasound, yung tinatawag natin na FNAP or Fine Needle Biopsy. Ito ay ultrasound guided FNAP. So habang uh, before and during the collection of the target tissues or specimen ay gagamitan ng ultrasound. Okay, then they shall recognize that interpretation and diagnosis is beyond the scope of their professional practice. So napakalinaw po. Section 5, Article 3. Okay? Hindi po natin sakop ang pagbibigay o pag-interpret at pag-diagnose. However, doon sa ibang may bansa dito sa Southeast Asia na I think it's in Singapore. In Singapore, inaalaw na mag-interpret ng radiograph ang RadTech basta may proper training. Pero siya ay bago pa lang na-implement. Yung mga basic x-rays, chest x-rays yun, pinapayagan sila na mag-interpret. So yan ay I think Singapore pa lang. Okay, so next day shall report any violation to RA 7431, to RA 8981, or any rules and regulation, and dito sa Code of Ethics. So meaning, kasama dito yung illegal practice, malpractice. Ano ba pagkakaiba ng illegal practice sa malpractice? Okay? Do you have any idea what's the difference between malpractice and illegal practice? Okay, when we say malpractice, diba yung word na mal, ang ibig sabihin niya ay bad. Bad practice, meaning yung person na nag-perform ng certain procedure ay authorized to perform that procedure. However, nagkaroon siya ng error. Okay, pag sinabi namang illegal practice, the person practicing a particular procedure or a particular profession is not authorized to practice at all. Kaya siya ay illegal. So example, may nakita kang medtech, nag-x-ray. Illegal practice, malpractice. Illegal practice, malpractice. So siya ay illegal practice. Kasi wala naman sa scope of practice ng mga medtech ang pagsasagawa ng x-ray. Okay? Okay, so they must be always maintain proper decorum. Okay? They shall not demean the reputation, competence, and capability of other colleagues in order to promote themselves. Okay? Then, responsibility to oneself. kailangan mag-undergo ang mga RadTech at X-ray Tech na tinatawag na Continuing Professional Education and Development. Okay? So yan ay required, yung units. Okay? They shall take active part in relevant activities organized by the professional organization or societies such as the part. Okay? They shall share acquired knowledge and skills on the latest practices and procedures related to RT or XT to their colleagues. So uh, re-echoing of gained knowledge. And they shall also render professional service, or they shall not render professional service under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or any similar substances. Okay? They shall avoid conflict of interest in any action that might discredit the profession. Then section 6, they shall be entitled to a just and fair compensation. Eh, kailangan isa yan sa privileges natin as RadTech. Kailangan that we are entitled to a just and fair compensation. Kaya kung maliit lang sweldo mo sa isang healthcare institution as mandated by the Code of Ethics, so pwede it's either reklamo mo sa NLRRC or pwede kang maghanap ng mas mataas na sahod sa ibang company. Okay? They shall not allow their names or certificates of registration to be advertised or used by any person or organization unless with written consent. Kasi uso po yung pinaparentahan yung license, yung birth certificate pinaparentahan sa mga maliliit na clinic. Tapos, ang nagtatrabaho sa maliliit na clinic, mga underboard. When we say underboard, unlicensed RadTech. So, siya ay unethical. Unethical, bukod sa siya ay unethical, siya ay also unlawful. Pwedeng maging cause ng suspension ng license. Kasi pinagamit mo yung license mo sa isang radiological facility na hindi naman ikaw nagjo-duty doon. What if may ginawang mali yung underboard na RadTech doon? Sino ang mananagot? Yung underboard ba? Siyempre hindi. Ang mananagot ikaw. Bakit? Doon kasi sa license to operate, pangalan mo nakalagay. Ikaw ang nakapirma. Diba? So, sa halagang 3,000 per month, dahil sa isang kapalpakan ng unlicensed RadTech, matatanggalan ka ng lisensya. Ang saklap, di ba? 4 na taon mong pinag-aralan sa college, nag-review ka ng ilang months sa after graduation, na halos hindi ka na makakatulog kasi mahirap ang board exam. Pero mawawala lang sa isang iglap yung lisensya mo. Kaya kayo, pag graduate na, huwag po ipapahiram ang inyong license at birth certificate sa mga gustong magrenta nito. Kasi siya ay labag sa ating Code of Ethics at labag din siya sa RA 7431. Okay? So, may question po ba sa Code of Ethics? So we run out of time. So we will be continuing the discussion on Tuesday. So we will be discussing on Tuesday the patient's Bill of Rights and patient's responsibility. Okay? So be sure to read something about those topics and how are they related to uh, the Code of Professional Ethics for Radiologic Technologies. Okay?